I can't believe we're here.
Last day,
day 5. Just talking to Paul and Sandy on the phone, who are on their way to meet us. Wow. I was trying to get why the car wasn't moving. My brain isn't quite engaged fully yet. It will be.
It's a little terrifying.
They're on their way to meet us at the Levendale Hall, and it really...
There is so much frost on the ground and on the car. I've been trying to take pictures of how much there is, like a layer, like it's not just frost, it's like, it looks like a freezer, the outside of the car. But yeah. But the sun is shining. Oh, shivers. Can you see? Hang on.
I can see. I don't need you to see.
Okay, there's nothing coming.
No.
Just in case you needed to know. This is a beautiful town.
It is. It feels like Athens is getting better.
It's like they've done some work.
Yeah.
Since I was last year, anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's great.
So we're going the back road to Levendale now, and the Southern Churches, which is obviously our neck of the woods. But today particularly, I'm looking forward to seeing Sandy Bay.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not sure how to summarise the trip so far, but it's going to go.
Yeah. I feel like everyone needs to be seeing what we're driving on. It's like beautiful.
It is. It's stunning. Yeah.
It is a beautiful morning.
So we'll see you at Levendale.
We set out in the morning light, the road ahead unrolled, stories in the steeples, in the hearts that still hold. It started down in Perth town, in the Gibson family's prayer. Since the 1850s, grace has echoed everywhere. From Hobart up to Launceston, through Devonport and Burnie Sound, we're tracing lines of faithfulness in every country town.
My name's Paul Dare, and I've been here for probably 9 years now. I think about 9 years of being part of this church, yeah.
So tell us about Levendale Community Church.
So Levendale Community Church started, as I said, 9 years ago when I was at Newstead Baptist, and we came down here to offer people a chance because there's just no regular service in this area. And so we used to do one twice a month. And now we gone to once a week, thanks to Citywide Hobart. My connection with this community is a long-standing one, to put it mildly. My ancestors used to roam this country, and my great-great-grandfather came out as a convict and settled here. So we've been here for a while, and we've actually got a road named after us. So it's pretty awesome, really.
So the church happens in the community hall, and the community hall's been here for a while. Yeah,
so the community hall was as a result of a land grant given to 6 of the local families, and it's been here a while, yes, and so it happens in the community hall, and this is the place where the community meets. This is the hub of the community. It's the focal point, especially since the local school closed. So this is the grant that was actually given here. You can see the hall, and up here it mentions the families of the people it was given to, and it was given into perpetuity. So it's really awesome, and it just shows you what a community was built here at one point in time, and that's the community we hope to, by having a church here, is to encourage that community to remain.
And one of your relatives is on there?
Yes, so my granddad's on here, and the McConnell's granddads and Birchall's granddads. So all the locals that are known are on here, and I think there's a Crawford on here as well. So yeah, it really is exciting when you read it. You go, wow, that's history. And if you look around the hall, you'll see photos of the main families. Like the one here, we've got the school, Levendale Schoolhouse in 1901. We've got a picture of my granddad over there from World War I. But there he is with his discharge paper. And yeah, so that's Uncle Sid.
My name's Yvonne Crawford, and I've lived here practically all my life, and that's a long time. I attended the school here, yes, when I first started school, and then I came back and taught here after about 20 years, so I do know a bit about the school. Yeah.
Tell us.
We have a tea here in this hall every Friday night, and we are getting some of the younger ones now, so that's good, yes.
So there's a community meal that happens here
every Friday night, yes.
It's fantastic.
Yes, it is, it's lovely.
How many would turn up to that?
Oh, well, anywhere between 5 or 6 or up to about 30 or 40 sometimes. Yeah, sometimes it's quite a crowd. We did have a church down the road. It's been sold and it's a private home now, but we do still have a church at Woodsdale, Anglican churches, both of them, and we have a service there, not very regularly.
What would not very regularly be like?
Oh, probably once a month, probably not even that long in the winter time.
So, sounds like there is a need for a local church.
Yes, I think there is. If you can just get people to move.
Yeah.
And there used to be quite a congregation years ago, like when I was a child growing up, we always went to church, Mum and my dad sometimes, not always, but no, there would be quite a congregation then. It's just that the younger people have dropped off. And
The way this church works is we're part of the Mornington and Citywide Hobart church family. So we have congregations obviously at Mornington and Levendale and here, and we share video of preaching and worship. So between the three churches, we get to have some live stuff and some on TV, which is really good. So because there's no way we could survive as a local church if we didn't have that. So we're so thankful for the ability to have it. And as you can see, we're all on TV now. If Matt turns around, you can see his face. There you go. Yeah, we're all on TV. Which I don't know, it just makes it so doable.
So it's not just, you're not just receiving the thing.
No, we participate too, and it's really funny when we participate because you stand here, go, am I on? Then you realise you're on the big screen as well. But it is good fun to feel part of that congregation, to feel part of that love, and participate in things that are happening, as well. Because we get the benefits of the bigger church while maintaining this small community outlook, which I think is such an important thing.
Mind the steps, a couple of steps there.
So it's a beautiful community hall.
It is a nice hall. It is a nice hall. Yes, this is the supper room, which is quite large, really. Yes, there we go. There's one at least. Now this is the kitchen, a pretty well set up kitchen. So it's not a hard job to do a tea here of a Friday night. Really, it's just a matter of getting people along, And as I said, we do usually have a good because they like the heater and it's nice and warm and cosy.
Now, being Tassie, we tend to be quite regional. Does that even get down to Levendale and Woodsdale? Like, do Levendale people think that they're connected to Woodsdale, or is there a kind of?
Well, we try. We do try. Yes.
Well, I guess
we've got another lady living at Woodsdale who grew up at Levendale, and we always say we're trying to get rid of that gate on top of the hill.
So I love that idea of a gate between two communities. I mean, whether it's Oatlands or it is everywhere in Tassie.
Oh right, so we're not unique. No. I think it's gradually disappeared.
What are your hopes for the church, mate?
My hopes for the church is that just people come in and get to know God, love the Lord, and are saved. That's it in a nutshell. And and I'd like to see it be the hub of the community, but I'm also a realist. I'd just like to see the community come together in some form or one another to support each other, especially given the mental health crisis in the rural area. We've had a couple of suicides in the last few years, which is really sad. And I just think if we can connect a bit better, hopefully that will decrease.
We are driving out of Levendale, and I like Levendale.
Yeah.
I know I say that about everywhere we go, but it is a... by the way, hey Siri, give us directions to Claremont Baptist Church.
To do that, you'll need to be online.
Yeah, that's true, I will.
I'll have to wait to get closer.
Yeah, hopefully we're heading in the right direction. Okay. Yeah, because we're out the back blocks. But I love, Paul and Sandy, obviously friends, but I love what he's trying to do with the rural church. And the country.
Did you just say Paul and Sandy are friends?
Our friends.
Oh, our friends. Okay.
They're married.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
So I hope they're friends as well. But, you never know.
Anyway, keep going. What we said.
I love what he's trying to do with the rural church.
There's a dead roots.
Yeah. And that this is the only rural church we will get to today, because every other church in southern Tasmania is urban, suburban.
Yep.
But we have a bit of a drive ahead of us now, from Levendale to Claremont, and the roads are a little icy.
They are. So we need to concentrate on them.
Well, I don't know if we do. I think I do.
Yes, you do. Yeah. Uh-huh. That was chilly. That was brisk.
But yeah, I just love the story of his family and the
Yeah.
community there.
And what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. And he cares, you know, that in a rural community you have other challenges, you know, or a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
This road we share is paved with grace, footsteps of the faithful in every place. Through years gone by and those to come, the church still sings the kingdom drums. Hope is rising, love runs deep. Tasmania's calling, and the promise we keep.
I've been here over 50 years and I'm not exactly sure, but I was a founding member.
You're a founding member? And what's your name?
Heather Hall.
I came in the 70s when I got a job at Cadbury's.
That-
Came down from up north.
And who are you?
I'm Alan Firth. You know me, Matt.
I know, but they don't.
Peter Clark, the pastor here. We came here in '99, so I've been here about 25 years now. There was a pastoral vacancy here, so some of the people at church knew me from another church and they invited me to come on and help with the speaking, and I got more involved when my wife Jenny and I moved here to help with the pastoral work, and after a couple of years we were actually ordained and inducted here as the pastor. Which makes me, I think, of the longest serving pastor in Tasmania, I think.
It wouldn't hurt to even say though, you and Bob Goolsby are both pastors, but haven't got a lot of money for the gig.
Yeah, well, I'm working full time elsewhere most of that time, so which has its own problems because you're limited in what you can do time wise. But that changed last year, so now I can focus a lot more energy, and I'm actually being paid.
Wow.
So 8 a day a week. So yeah, but I've got as I sort of move into semi-retirement, more time to focus on the church ministry, do the things you're passionate about rather than just pay the bills.
It's one of the things that's a block for a lot of the little churches we've spoken to, is they all want a pastor, but they assume they can't afford a pastor. But our two most experienced pastors in the state have been doing the job because they were called by God to do it, not because they get paid to do it. What's it been like being the pastor here, Pete?
Yeah, well, it's been possible because we've got a really good team of people that participated. It isn't a situation where the pastor runs around and does most of the jobs. We've always had a good core of people, and there's usually about half a dozen that can help with this, the preaching. And in fact, I can remember there was one Sunday many years ago where we had someone sharing a sermon in 5 different churches, including here at Claremont, from our congregation.
What do you love about this church?
Lots.
Yes.
I love the fellowship, the singing, the friendliness, and you feel part of it. There's no caste distinctions, like I've been to another church and I didn't feel at home. And it's just wonderful. It's getting better all the time.
And my sister said to me, you know, that's your family as well. You know, yeah, they recognised that the church was as much family as my extended family.
So Pete, what do you love about Claremont Baptist Church?
I think, well, along with what's already been said, it is a big or smaller church. It's very much family-like. Everyone, you sort of know everyone else.
Yeah.
And you hear the news, we have prayer times, so it is like a family. So, you have those close bonds, those close associations. And apart from the Sunday service, people see each other all through the week as well.
So tell us why you say it's getting better all the time.
Well, we've had another church come in, and they're younger people, and
So tell us a bit about this experiment with the other church coming and joining you. What was that about?
When they did get to the stage where they were struggling to be at the level where it was worth continuing as an independent church. They come over to try a few services, and it's basically we've worked on this and made it. It's come to fruition. Since so we've made it, God's made it work. Yeah.
What does it mean for Claremont?
Well, it means that there's some songs that I can't click anymore because I don't know the words.
It's not because they're unfamiliar with the words, that's because they're in a foreign language.
Yes, that's what I can't. I can never understand it.
So tell us, you sing songs in foreign languages.
Oh yeah, it's usually only one per service, and quite often we'll sing part of it in English as well. But yeah, different languages as part of the intercultural side of things, and it's always, we try to have a language where some of the members of the congregation actually speak that. I suppose helps the congregation become more aware, so we try to promote that intercultural side of things, that there's a big world out even in Tasmania of different groups, and you can be a missionary here in your own community. So it's having that all together like that. An intercultural church, Claremont's changed a bit, and they've changed, and sort of merging into this new thing as a result of that, hopefully.
What sort of impact has having new leadership from different backgrounds been brought into the church?
Well, she was in Spal, and she, jumping around, and you just feel like jumping around. Well, one day I did and nearly hurt yourself.
And you had a bit of an accident during one of the worship services.
Yes.
That's
true.
Yeah, sometimes we do it.
But I haven't done it again because I really did hurt me.
That's fantastic.
She hurt herself.
Praising God.
Yes, I was, but I know my limitations. But you just feel enthused.
There's on the grounds a whole lot of books here.
Yep.
Why are all these books here?
Part of that, the reason the books are here, this is the book nook is one of the activities we have on Tuesday mornings, which is like a drop-in coffee time where people from the community can come in here. It's advertised as book nook, so they feel they can just come in here and have a bit of a look at the books, but you sit and have a coffee. So there's a group that gets here on every Tuesday morning, made up of some church members and hopefully more people from the community. There's usually a few from the community. Just get together and relax and chill out, basically.
So they don't actually read?
Well, they do sometimes, but apparently they're sitting and talking, having the coffee is the big thing that people love to do. And the books is just very minor part of it. Main sort of social room, I suppose you call it, and then you've got the main hall out there for the services, which you get about 60 to 70 people in.
Well, can we have a look around?
Yeah.
So tell us about the kitchen. How long does the kitchen look like this?
Yeah, we redid the whole kitchen ourselves about 10 years ago.
And now we've got servery, and this can become the cry room, and also where you serve morning teas from here.
Walk through what was the kitchen and this sort of multi-function space to the auditorium.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, this is the back way. I mean, the main entrance is over to the.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So at the moment it fills up pretty well. It seems like quite full most Sundays, which is sometimes a bit of a worry too, because you don't want to. Sometimes people are discouraged from attending a place if they walk in and say, "Oh, this place is full. I don't like the crowd."
So you're actually on that edge where you're having to, where it's starting to feel full.
Yeah, it is starting to feel a bit full at the moment.
That foundation stone was in the manse.
Okay.
So the house was the manse. The house next door was the manse, and they had a Sunday school of about 70 or 80 kids in the house.
Okay.
And then they built the hall.
Okay. So it started in a house.
Yes, next door.
So what kind of future would you love to see for the church?
Well, you want to be part of God's kingdom and seeing it developing. I mean, that's what it's about, really.
Yeah.
You want to see, basically grow like most churches hopefully want to grow. It would also be able to have better outreach into the community, and not where we're inviting people in. And one of the things we talk often about is, how can we getting more involved with what the community is doing as well, that idea of actually going out in mission and not expecting people to come in. So I think that's one of the things we're trying to work on and see develop further.
I agree with what the other two said. Totally agree.
Yeah, fantastic. I really enjoyed that. As you drove away from Claremont Baptist Church. I like Heather is just
Gorgeous.
all heart.
I love the story she told about how she got an injury from where she getting too carried away with the worship.
And I love their openness to welcome this the intercultural church people, and they now, with all our discussions about worship and stuff, I think they sing a song that no one apart from a couple of people in the church understand every Sunday from different cultures, like different languages. It's just they are intentionally trying to create space, and because they're doing that, they're growing younger and bigger, and they're actually having trouble fitting everybody in there, which is so encouraging.
Yeah.
It's quite a healthy, if you look, community church.
Yeah.
And doing, breakfasts and nooks and a whole bunch of stuff. And even the way Heather talked about being scared but feeling like it was right to go, and they were giving out gifts around the community for kids, and she plucked up the courage to do it. It was encouraging. And now off to Hobart Baptist Church.
Yep.
And then from there to Lena Valley, and then from there Sandy Bay, and then from there City.
This road we share is paved with grace, footsteps of the faithful in every place. Through years gone by and those to come, the church still sings the kingdom drums. Hope is rising, love runs deep. Tasmania's calling, and the promise we keep. From the streets of Glenorchy to Longford's wide embrace, to Beauty Point where river meets grace. In Georgetown, the Trove and Newstead's flame, we lift one voice in Jesus' name.
Oh, look at that. Right. It's in there.
It is literally a cornerstone.
The cornerstone's in there.
Yeah.
Wow, so we're not going to be able to get there.
So you started as an associate pastor here, or you're still the associate pastor here?
Technically, I'm still the associate pastor here. It's just that I'm the only one. I love how diverse the place is. So I love that I don't need to tell anyone that Hobart Baptist Church is a multicultural, multi-ethnic, intercultural, intergenerational church, because all you got to do is show up on a Sunday and see who's on the stage.
Yeah.
Like it's there for everyone to see, and it's exciting, right?
Yeah.
So there's a diversity, there's a real energy to that is sometimes messy.
Yeah.
But it's exciting.
We started this whole journey at Perth Baptist Church,
Which I believe is a copy, isn't it?
No, well, it's actually an octagon. It's very, very different, but there are some similarities.
Yeah.
And these pillars, two things. I mean, because this was called, I don't know, does it say anywhere the Hobart Baptist Tabernacle? It's certainly for many, many years, this was the Hobart Baptist Tabernacle.
And we still refer to it as the Tab.
Yeah, that's kind of culturally what it's called.
What we call it.
One of the things we discovered in this journey, listening to a Spurgeon book, is that tabernacle, Spurgeon invented the word tabernacle to communicate the idea that buildings are meant to be temporary.
Yep.
And so that was news, because a lot of these buildings feel very permanent. But
they do.
But the other thing was, he chose, because this is based on a Spurgeon thing, he chose Greek architecture, the pillars and things, all that sort of and the top there, because the New Testament's written in Greek.
Yeah.
And so this is, I think this is probably the grandest of the Baptist churches.
That's very true, and it's definitely true when you're inside the Tab itself.
And there is one similarity that Perth has with the Tab, and that is that they both have domes that have been covered up.
Yes.
But this is all new, and this was a big part of the project.
Yes.
So this is a fairly recent
So
development.
where we're standing used to be outside. This used to be a laneway. And so this wall here was an exterior wall for the old church building.
And now we've got this cafe
Over
here.
here was a separate building.
Oh yes, it's true. What was it called, Heather? The Soundy building? This was Soundy Hall,
Yeah.
which was a separate building. And I can recommend the coffee at Esteemed Coffee. And we're hoping, I believe, to get it happening more regularly and get more things happening.
So do you want to go in there?
Yeah, let's go. We better go in there.
The first time when I first arrived here and I got up to talk, I had a little, almost like a panic moment, because it's just, you can feel the history of the place. It's sort of dripping off the walls.
And a lot of the old Baptist churches have a sloping floor,
Yes.
but none of them are quite this dimensional. I mean, this has the space to have a mezzanine floor. That's where a dome is, but like at Perth, they've covered it in for audio reasons.
This is our beautiful organ. It is beloved. The big pipe things are down the back there. And certainly when it's played well, it just flies. Yeah, like there is nothing quite like a pipe organ played well.
So much history in here.
Yeah.
One of the best-selling Australian authors of all time, F.W. Boreham, was the pastor here in the First World War. The Soundy name, John J.T. Soundy, his name is on the cornerstone of Sheffield when we were up there. And the Soundy name is all over the state. And this is one of the few places where the pillars are actually pillars.
Yeah.
In other places, they have decorative pillars.
Yes.
But again, this is from Spurgeon and the idea that it's Greek architecture because the New Testament is written in Greek.
Yeah.
And behind that, you've got the baptistry in that kind of 1950s aqua colour. This room is
That's
used.
the Soundy Lounge.
Yeah.
And it can be opened right up. So this can all be one big space.
Yeah.
But that can be closed off as well. So we often have smaller events happening in there. We have the Gibson Hall.
The Gibson Hall,
Yes.
obviously named after the Gibson family.
And the Gibson Hall, it's my understanding, the Gibson Hall is actually the oldest part of the building. So this room is used for things like church meetings. We hire it out. There's dance groups that come and use it. There's a play group that happens in here as well. Yeah, but it's a part of the history of the place. Stairwell, this is where I get my cardio in. Going up and down these stairs every day.
Oh, it's great to see the pictures up.
Yep, we need to get a colour picture of Stephen Baxter here. The pipes used to be there,
Wow.
and they got moved.
Wow.
So this room is the Boreham room, and this is where we have a lot of important meetings and stuff up here. Our youth group also hang out up here as well.
It's a great space.
Yeah, children's physio works in there. Our kids' church is in there.
Is there there's a veranda?
There is. Do we want to go out?
Yeah, let's go and check out the veranda.
Yeah, so we in the summertime we use it a bit, and the kids' church actually use it. They put stuff out here some Sundays. Of course, we have Elizabeth College over here, right next door.
So yeah, this is the local college.
Yep, and we have the units here that we share an elevator with.
But a lot of people don't know that this is all here.
No.
That's why these videos are going to be good for people to realise what's changed.
So up here is both a staff office area, but also where Foster and Hope are based. We often make the joke that this is our ivory tower.
Yeah, literally.
Yes. So this is my desk where I work.
It makes you a long way from anything that's happening.
It's why, as you would have noticed when you got here, I was working downstairs.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time working downstairs where people actually are. So this used to be Stephen Baxter's office, which I never used because I work downstairs predominantly.
Commentaries.
Yep. Yeah, it's a tremendous library to be able to come to. We've got a couple of young people who are doing theological studies as well, so I can just bring them up here and point them at this stuff.
Hi, I'm Heather Galloway and I have been here just over 70 years.
I'm Karen Conway. I'm Leeanne Conway's mum.
Oh, that's good to know.
And I've been here for 20-ish years.
I'm Peter Jones. I started off my Christian life in this church. I had a spell over at the East Shore Church and I'll come back home.
My name's Warren Robertson. This is my wife Anne Robertson. In case I say something wrong, she'll help me. We got here about 2004 from Sydney.
21 years to go.
So I am who he said, and I came with him 21 years ago.
I'm Matt. I'm the new guy. I've only been here 4 years.
I'm Kay Jones, and I came here to go to, when I came down to go to uni, I came to this church, and so it's been my church for most of the time, except when the bridge went down, we went to the Eastern Shore, and now we're back again.
I've been coming to this church since 1968.
You've been coming here since 1968?
Yes. And I'm Margaret Eldridge. I'm a single lady who lives about 10 minutes drive from the church.
What do you appreciate about Hobart Baptist Church?
I guess it's always the people, really. It's made the church. It's not the building because it's too cold sometimes. And some of it's given us a headache. No, it's always the people here. And obviously it's been the preaching over many, many years as well, the style of service.
What about the style of service?
Well, it's what I've grown up with, except it keeps changing.
It's good to see now, with singers and instrument players, younger people. Well, that's what's needed.
Yeah.
We're not here forever.
Yeah.
At our age.
So you
So it's good to
appreciate...
see that they're...
So are you seeing some younger people joining the team?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You've got young to old. We did lose a few in the middle when with the bridge going down, but that's filling up. But
Thanks for that, by the way.
Yeah, you're welcome. We always wanted to start a church over there. But yeah, it's the multi-generational thing that, so it is a real family.
Yeah.
It is a family.
With all generations.
The church family, not just members of the church.
Yeah, we are a family.
Multicultural.
And we're now very multicultural, yes, you're right.
Characteristic.
We love that as well.
And we came from a multicultural church in Sydney, and we walked in here, and there were not as many different cultures as there are now, but it felt like home. And we really liked that, so we stayed.
We've opened up with the coffee shop and the extensions. There's a lot more happening. We have a playgroup that comes in, and we have migrant women come to do sewing. It's just expanded.
A lot of the issues that have been of great concern to me, I've been able to, can I say, carry the church with me? Would that be fair? People who perhaps hadn't thought about those issues initially, I've been able to share my concerns.
What kinds of issues? I've heard of refugees.
Well, refugees, asylum seekers particularly. I've shared my home with 16 asylum seekers, and people have understood my worries and concerns.
Yeah.
They haven't always agreed with me, and one or two people have said, how could you possibly share your bathroom with a Muslim bloke? And I've said very easily. But no, on the whole, I've had a lot of support.
Yeah.
And it's been a place. I've lived overseas on a few occasions, and it's always been a place to come home to.
Hopes for Hobart Baptist Church?
That it would grow. I'm very sad to see empty pews, and I remember the time when we were putting extra chairs along the aisles. That doesn't happen anymore, and I would love to think, because I think we have a lot to offer to people who perhaps aren't going to church now. I'd like to see the time repeated when we had 12 bassinets in the creche.
Yeah.
And they were all full.
And the point of the redevelopment was to have a space to welcome people into, which isn't the church, but to show loving, caring nature and to, you know, support the community in whatever way we can. And so that's the reason for the coffee shop.
So to be able to have a place where we are welcoming enough for somebody to not be scared when they come in, that's one of the things.
It was the same with one of the Australian people in the refugee and migrant group. She turned up at church unexpectedly and made sure that I knew that she'd been to church and that she would be coming again. And I thought, oh, we've been sitting here sewing and knitting and crafting all this time, and somebody from the group is now coming regularly to church. It wasn't my objective at all, but it's lovely that it strengthened the connection with that group and the church.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Are there any other hopes you have for Hobart Baptist Church?
May it always be the same.
But different.
It was a crowded place. Now, there's about 100 people that come regularly, and it's an intimate place. I prefer the second.
Yeah? So are you telling me you don't want anybody to come?
Oh, I'm glad for people to come.
Not too many.
But the closeness we have is worth its weight in gold. I mean, the crowd was wonderful, but you didn't get to know anyone. Whereas now, everyone knows everyone. We know what we think. We know what we can share. It's wonderful.
And this space is really important to that. It's as important, if perhaps not more important, than the church itself. Because people will step into this space with a bit more courage than they may have to step into a church. So this is crucial, I think. And I yearn
so they could be in this
so that
space
they can
and look
actually
in
see. But yes, and sometimes people come in and we say, would you like us to unlock the door?
Yeah.
And they say, yes, please. I think the same with the Karen who have their service, which follows ours. People look in there to see what's happening, and they see a vibrant group of people who show their love of God in a very practical way.
Every church we've been to, every Baptist church we've been to, has a space designated for relationships. Like, it tells you a bit about the Baptists. Relationships matter.
Like a cup of tea in the chat.
Yeah.
Food, yes, food. Brings us together.
And I also love, sort of between the lines I'm hearing, one of the complicated things about Baptist churches is we have two competing values. One is we want to be a community, and one is we want everyone to have the space to think for themselves. And that means there's always this tension that you've got to manage, where people are different, but we try and be together. And I'm hearing that among you, that this is part of the beauty of Hobart Baptist Church when at its best. You've got different personalities, different ethnicities, but you fight hard to be together. Is that? Am I reading that right?
Yeah, that's what it's like to be a family.
It-
Families are like that.
Yes.
Families are together, but they're different, and they argue and they, sort of yell at each other, but they love each other at the same time. And that's what this church is. It is a family.
Yes.
We don't always agree. Some of us whinge about some of the music.
No, really?
You don't have that in your church, do you? Or any other Baptist church? No, there's always things that people get niggled about, but basically we are the same family.
Yes.
And that's and we are brothers and sisters in Christ, and that's the grounding part of it, isn't it?
Yeah, we're attempting to get out of the Hobart Baptist Church car park.
Which is quite full.
And it's on an awkward angle.
What is this?
That's just the parking thing. My wife is helping me.
Oh, I've been so good all trip. Come on.
So
That was lovely.
it was just
Again.
it was lovely sitting around the table with everybody.
It was.
And just hearing their hearts. And it just had me thinking how easy it is to get into negative stories. And
anyone else see how much the car's beeping?
it just
Yeah, anyway. Okay.
and how how there's something about just stopping and hearing people's hearts and seeing the positives and seeing and there's so many positives about Hobart Baptist Church. And so it's like, personally for me, this whole journey, it's easy for me as a leader. I often see the unresolved things, but I think what's really helpful is to see the stuff that isn't unresolved, to see the stuff that's beautiful, and the multicultural thing, the redevelopment, the fact that there's young people leaders doing things. It's all pretty exciting. We have 3 churches left.
Wow.
Why not? Like, I mean, it's been big. It's been big, but it's been life-giving. I don't. Yeah.
This road we share is paved with grace. Footsteps of the faithful in every place. No turning back, just forward eyes. The harvest grows beneath these skies. Hope is rising, love runs deep. The church is alive. The promise we keep